Hello everybody. Hey, we back again. This time we're going to talk about quivers and string protection for shooting. Remember on the last video we got our Sunset Hill here, beautiful bow. We got our silencers on it, and we got our string knots, and we got a brace height set. I've since shot this bow a pretty good bit, and it's quiet as a mouse. And there again, I don't use these for silencers. I use them for vibration dampeners, and you don't have to have them on there. But this bow actually shoots better at a little bit lower brace height. If you remember on the other video, I told you you could, when you get it shooting, you can twist it about 3 times one way, see how it feels, twist it the other way, and that's how you tell how it feels, by the vibration, and if it shoots rougher or shoots, you know, like you can't even feel it and you don't hear it. And it likes about just a shade over 6 1/8. So that's where we got her setting at the brace height here. All right, so what we got to do now before we start worrying about arrows and such for you is what you're going to carry your arrows in. There again, this is hunting. This has nothing to do with no target archery. We strictly in the woods going hunting with these bows. And we're going to enjoy shooting them too, walking and roving, but it's all going to be in a hunting frame of mind. So the choices, there's a whole bunch of choices on what you want, but basically it boils down to 2 to begin with. Do you want your quiver on your bow, or do you want it off your bow? It's easy for me. I can't stand a quiver on a longbow. I can't stand it. I have them on recurves and things like that, but we're not talking about recurves. We talk about hunting with one of these in South right here, South Georgia. And for me, putting a quiver on this hill style bow is like taking your prize fly rod in there and putting a Zebco 33 on it. It just don't belong, you know. So it takes away from the lightness and the maneuverability and the balance and everything. I just don't like it on there. Some other guys love them on there, and good for them, and you may, but me, I don't. So my option that I use is a dogware quiver, and this thing here is pretty cool. And a lot of people, let me turn it just a shade where you can see here, and a lot of people don't like these dogware quivers or any kind of quiver they wear on the side. They want their quiver on their bow. They say they can get to their arrows fast. I mean, I don't get it, because I mean, how much faster do you need to get to an arrow than that? That's pretty doggone quick. I got her about a knock right here. I can have her on the string really fast. And you got to put her back. Oh, you just do that right there. She's back in place. Wait a minute. There's a pig right there. There's a pig right there. Let's get this arrow out. You can get these jokers out of there quick. You notice I ain't looking at it either, right? I got a hold to it. So for me, that dogware is the option that I go with. You can he don't make them no more. My buddy Hillbilly John don't make them, I don't think, anymore to sell. But there are other quivers similar to that work really good. So that's my option. If you're gonna put one, you can actually, if you're gonna put one on your bow, this creek walker, that's a good option. You can take in, if you want to buy one of these, Donnie Wilkerson Creek Walker Trading, really good guy. But he ain't paying me to say that, I'm just being honest. But you can lay your bow down, lay a tape measure there beside it, and take a picture of it, send it to him, and he'll measure. I mean, he can go off of that measurement and build you a bow, a quiver that fits your bow. I notice I'm crossing my words a lot when I'm talking. I'm trying to do better than that. But anyway, it's a good quiver. And you can also, mine's got a leather strap here that straps on there, and I wear it over my shoulder, you know, with the same principle as the dog wear. It ain't on my bow. And I can reach down and get the arrows. It totes on my hip like that. And so that's it. And if you're just getting into this and you don't want to spend a lot of money, you can go to Bass Pro or Walmart and buy you a compound bow quiver. Just, you know, something like this. It's got a hood and a gripper here. And forget all that bracket and all that crap, and tie you some, you know, a rope right there, or fix you up something nice with leather or whatever, and tote your arrows like that and don't have much money in it. Another option is the Great Northern. I use the Great Northern a lot. And this one happens to be an adjustable. I like that because if it goes on different bows, this is a good quiver. And I like it. When you put a quiver on a bow, you have to have it hooked inside or strapped inside the fades. Here's your fades where it fades out to nothing right here, this riser does. You got to be inside of those. This hill style bow has a pretty short riser, so your gripper's going to be close together. But you know, if you got a long reflex deflex longbow, sometimes the riser's real long and you might have them spread out like way out here. That's why I like that adjustable. But anyway, it's a good quiver. I've used it a lot, as you can tell. Look in there. Then another good option, and one that was my favorite bow quiver for a long time on a lot of my bows, is this Sailway. You can tell I've used it a few days. And real good quality right here. It's a slide-on quiver. The thing about this quiver is you have to slide it on until it's tight, and wherever it ends up is where it's going to be at. And then I think this one is a big gem. Oh, I don't see the bottom part to it. I may have left it in the house. Oh, here we go. This is a big gem right here. I think this is a big gem quiver. It straps on. It's real lightweight. It holds a lot of broadheads. And the way the arrows are in a circle there allows that. But these are good quivers as well. These are probably the least expensive out of all these right here. And a lot of people use them. My buddy Dindy, I don't know if his is a big gem, but he uses a quiver along these lines here. He's a killer. And so there you go. You got to decide how you're going to tote your arrows. And you say, why is that important before I get to shooting my bow? Because if you're going to put a quiver on your bow, well then when it's time to find the right arrow and we get to shooting, it needs to be on your bow. I'm not one of these guys where you put your quiver on your bow, tote your arrows to the tree and take it off. I do a whole lot of hunting on foot, and how I leave the truck is the way I'm going to be hunting the whole while. So I would encourage you to make sure if you're going to put the quiver on your bow, if that's what you're going to do, or leave it off. No in between. Do that. Because it makes the bow shoot a little bit different. It tends to make my arrows shoot stiffer. And some people are different, but it messes up my arrows, especially a lightweight bow like this. But I'm not going to have one on there anyway. Now I can put it on a heavy recurve, like my Bear recurve. I use that, I put this creek walker on it before, and you can't tell it's there. It shoots good. A heavy riser, the heavier riser bow gives you a lot of forgiveness in quivers and stuff like that. So, but then again, we ain't talking about recurves. We're talking about this animal right here. This is what I truly love. And that's what I'm hoping to do, is get some of you guys addicted to this same thing right here. And shooting a longbow, walking around as good as it gets. Then when you throw that Bible on top of it and a little time with the Lord, it just keeps getting better. Daisy, come here. My dog will be out there chasing fawns. She liked to caught a fawn day before yesterday, and I barely caught her in time or he'd have been dead. Daisy, come here, right here. All right, so decide what kind of quiver you're going to use and get that worked out. And one more thing that we're going to cover on this video. You got to decide your string protection, right? And I have two options right there. You can shoot a glove or a tab, really. Now there's an assortment of each one you can choose from, and I basically got the gloves. This glove right here, and there again, I'm thinking, you know, a lot of you guys may be just starting out. You know, you got to have money for groceries right now, so you can't spend a whole lot of money on gloves and such as that. So this glove right here is super affordable. You can get these at Bass Pro. This is a neat glove. It's called Neat, N-E-E-T. And they're really cheap, and they work good. And you notice I got a 4 on there. Well, when I buy something, like tabs, gloves, things like that, I always buy at least 2 of them. And say if I go buy 2 of these gloves right here, this is what I'm gonna use. I'll shoot this one today, tomorrow, or next time I go shooting, I'll put the other one on. That way they'll be broke in equally. And that's what I do. These gloves right here, I really like these kind of gloves, and I used to shoot a glove a lot, and I like a glove. But these are sewn over the ends. The leather comes over the end, and it's sewn up here, and it makes the finger part rounded, so you can feel your anchor better. I really like that. One of the drawbacks to these is they get a groove in them, but you can treat this leather, keep it good and slick, and it'll keep it from grooving as bad. And you can actually buy them that have Cordovan, I think that's how you say that, Cordovan overlays right here, and they make it where they don't bend as much. But I like to feel the string. I want it to bend. So these work pretty good. You keep them slick. You can put some baby powder on them. I used to carry a little, it was a little marble bag of baby powder, and I'd have it hanging on my side, and you could use it, pop it like that, and check the wind, and it kept your tab slick. I remember a long time ago I used to shoot tournaments, and the guys had a little pouch with their pencil and all that on their side there, you know, for keeping score, and it had a thing they would pat it, and it would put talcum powder or whatever, keep their release slick. The drawback to that is if it gets wet, it turns into crud quick, and it makes a sloppy release. But that's the one choice there. Another glove, and I'm just showing you the two that I basically have used. And the other one is this this Three Rivers glove. It's called a Dura glove from Three Rivers. And I've shot this a lot. And as you remember, I told you on this other one, it has rounded things you can feel your anchor better. But this one, these are sewn across the ends, and it makes like a kind of a glob of material here. And you get used to feeling it. You can feel it on your face, but you can't feel it on your fingers, your anchor. But I do most of my anchoring with this part right here coming back. So I've used these gloves a lot. This is a good glove. And it had like this piece here, it had one on the palm as well. But I cut it off. All it is just something to gather sweat and smell bad. And that's one reason I don't like these gloves, is I can smell this one and it hadn't been used in a year or a couple years. 2 years ago, last time I used this glove, I killed a 6-point off the ground with a Northern Miss Hill style longbow. But I was hunting with it along that time. But these gloves are good too. They're kind of, these like, I don't know, I bet these are $35, probably so. And you want to buy 2 of them. Always remember to buy 2. If your money's a little tight, you may want to get you 2 of these. But you get you 2 of these as well. And if you want to try this kind of glove, I would encourage you to go to a bow shoot, a traditional gathering somewhere, and people will let you borrow their stuff. I mean, you know, hey, I've never asked the guy, man, let me check your bow out, and they hand it to me and say, go shoot it. But you can learn a lot about bows at a bow shoot with people, and the traditional archery community is really great people. But if you don't have that option, maybe only buy one of these gloves and see if that's the way you want to go, then buy the other one. But you can go to Bass Pro or order these online. Everybody's doing their online stuff these days. And the guy that brings stuff here to the house knows my wife by name, I guarantee you. So here we go. The other option are finger tabs. This is an Omnivore's tab, Omnivore's Quiver tab right here. They have a couple kind. They got the kind with the string, not Omnivore's, but the tabs in general have the kind with this little string thing here. Then they have another one that has a hole in it right here, and you stick your finger through that hole, and it'll hang like that. And these hang like that. I hear some people say they can't shoot one or the other. Heck, they shoot the same to me. All I'm going by is what's on my fingers there. And Mark is a true craftsman, and he's been building these a few years. And these are the best tabs. I've been bow hunting. This year here will be, I think, my 44th bow season. And I've been using finger tabs for that long. I've used the glove some. Usually I would have finger issues, and the glove offers more protection. And even last year I had joint problems, and I shot split finger some because the glove added me some protection. But now that my eating habits have changed, I don't have, that's gone away. And so praise God, I like shooting split finger with this tab. It's slick. And the one thing I like about the tab too, I'm doing this filming and stuff, and it allows me to use my fingers on knobs and press buttons and all that. But the tab is good. You can take and treat this joker on the outside, away from the string side, with some mink oil, and also in between it, and that'll keep it from absorbing so much sweat. That's one bad thing about these gloves. You hunting and it's 95 degrees today, and the donkey is happy, and it'll these things will get just soggy wet, and that'll keep it. This will get wet too, but it'll keep from leaching through until your string side, so it'll still stay slick for you. I'd stay away from the calf hair kind. They have a lot with calf hair. If you shoot a bow a lot like I do, you'll shoot all that hair off in a month's time, and you'll end up with just a regular leather tab anyway. So go ahead, and the calf hair by far is the slickest, but it won't stay on there long. So get you an Omnivore's quiver, or a tab, Omnivore's tab, or and he'd probably be happy if you buy a quiver from him too. He has a great side quiver, sort of like Donnie's deal there. But get you one of these, and these are pretty high. They like 35 bucks, but there's some quality in this too now. But you can. I used to shoot before that. Before Mark started building these, I shot I think it was called a Bateman Cordovan tab. It was like 12 bucks. they work really good. They have a piece of elastic instead of this cord here to have elastic. But shoot, you can go to Hobby Lobby and buy this stuff here, cut you a hole, or take that elastic out and through those holes, you know, fix it like this. The elastic would break. It'd dry rot and break. So there you go. You got to choose, quiver or not, glove or tab, and get you some of them. And there's some trimming you can do to these tabs. You'll shoot them, and wherever it creates that crease at, that's all. And you want to protect your fingers, so you can take you some scissors and cut a little bit off at the time, because you don't want it sticking like way out there past your fingertips. So there you go. We'll go on to the next stuff. We'll get ready to start picking this out an arrow next. But we had to decide if we're going to put a quiver on our bow or not, because that'll affect our arrow and our shooting and everything. So thank y'all for watching. There's a whole lot of equipment available today online. This is a whole much different than, I made my first hunting quiver out of a deer hide, and I clipped it with a shower curtain thing off of a string and wore it on my side like that. I kill stuff like that too. But now there's so many options, and you can Google anything and read about it. But I'm trying to give you some honest opinions on what's worked through many, many, many years of bow hunting. And I truly like this dogware quiver. My friend John Pardue gave me my first one of these quivers he gave me years ago. And I got a video on nothing but quivers there somewhere in my stuff, if y'all want to pull it up and look at it. A lot of quivers, and tell some of the history of my quiver using. So check that out if you want. And so you guys keep the good Lord first, and let's pray for one another, and keep strong in Christ. I encourage you to get right with God. That's all that really matters. All this other stuff don't matter, and you won't enjoy none of this stuff. This is just sticks and strings unless you got God in your life, and then that makes everything worth living. It makes life worth living. You have a direction. You ever wandered around lost and you didn't know where you were going and confused in life, and just there was no happiness there, and then all of a sudden you figure out where you're at. Maybe you're driving, and that calm comes over you, and then you're headed the right direction, right? That's the way we are with if you don't have Christ. You wander around lost, there's no happiness, you're real shaky and timid. Then you get saved, you find God, and you have a direction in life, and everything is smooth. That don't mean that you ain't gonna have to lock it in 4-wheel drive sometime, because the road might get rocky. But you got to keep looking up and keep headed toward that cross. And in the end, it'll be nothing, no tears in heaven. Amen. Thank y'all for watching. Y'all keep the good Lord first, and we'll see you on the next one as we get closer and closer to hunting with these longbows in the South.